Hey there, welcome. This is the first video on the new channel, Mac Daddy. I should talk about what I plan on doing here. There's a lot of negativity on YouTube, but this morning I woke up and I found the positive side of YouTube. And it was really heartwarming, so that's what I'm going to discuss here. And I need to start off with the most positive thing that has happened in my life. I'm currently deeply, deeply in love. Her name is Tressy. And I need to tell you the story because it's something. I saw this couple, the Alfords. They met, got together, they met and got married in 5 months. I thought that was a beautiful story. They've been married for 3 years, they have a child. And it was just very heartwarming story. So my situation is I met my current girlfriend November 24th, 2025. We've been together almost the 24th, 24th of December, 30 days, 24th of January, 60 days, 24th of February, 90 days. We're almost at 100 days where we've known each other. The relationship moved very, very quickly. Met her Monday, weekend, Saturday, she's my girlfriend. And it's been, I think the last time that I fell in love like this was in high school. And that was me falling in love with her, and she's going on about her life. This is a very reciprocal type of deal. I'm not in this by myself. And I've noticed that I'm in my camera, right? This is the most pictures I've ever taken of myself smiling in my life. I am literally happy, just happy, happy, happy. So a lot of good things are going to happen. A lot of things are building and things are going on. One of the things I got to say I love about a relationship is happiness. She is very funny. She has her moments. And we laugh a lot. We get along together. And we have a lot of fun. And there'll be more about her. We had this conversation. I tried to convince her to start a YouTube channel. And she says she is shy. Now, this is where things get very interesting because I don't see her as shy. I'll tell you, this happened around Christmas time. We were out shopping, right? And I tried on this jacket and she's across the room and she's like, no. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, okay, the jacket must look that bad. It must be terrible. So I actually took the jacket off and put it back and didn't buy it because she was just like, no. And then it was her ideal for us to have sex for the first time. It was her ideal. And from that position, she could be quite aggressive. And I'm like, when she says she's shy, I was like, I don't see you as shy. I've not seen, I don't know where the shyness comes from. And she's like, with you, I'm not shy. In my family, I'm not shy. But strangers, I'm shy. I'm like, okay, I'll just take that for what I get. But this is the most interesting relationship I've had in my life. Now, fortunately, I've done a lot of dating. I would say, fortunately for me, that the majority of my relationships were positive. The majority. I was married once, bad divorce. That was a bad relationship. A girl I was dating broke up really bad. It was horrible. So, and then there was one lady, we had a child, and then she moved out the state with the child, and I'm not seeing her. And outside of those 3 really, really bad relationships, I have to say the majority of them, I've got a 95, 97% positive rate. So we cannot let 3 bad mishaps ruin us when the majority of the time I get in a relationship with a woman, it goes quite well, or it goes nice, or we may just, we'll get to the point where, hey, the relationship isn't working, but it's kind of like it doesn't get hostile. It doesn't get hostile. And it's just like, you go your way, I go my way. And sometimes I'll see someone like, this happened the other day. A girl I used to date, she was in a restaurant when me and my boo popped in, and she was with her husband, and she's had some children. We like broke up, and I didn't keep up with her. And then she sees me and my girl, and she's like, hey, and she's like, come over here, right? So we head over there. This is my husband. She's introducing everything. And then she says the craziest stuff. It's like, I used to date him. I used to date him a while ago. And then she told me something that was pretty remarkable. She said dating me prepared her for her husband. I was like, what? She said, you two are like very similar. And, we started talking, and I could see we were very similar. And she said, dating you got me ready for him. And I thought that was really interesting, because it wasn't like, I never got into these drag out, hate out, fight. We just broke up. She went her way, I went my way. It was really cool. And then she was just like, I wanted to say thank you. And then she's like, who's this gorgeous creature here, right? And we sit down, we talk and everything. It was just a good time, So this relationship it takes me back to high school. This relationship takes me very much back to high school, where if you remember when you were in high school and you would like someone, and just to be in their presence, just to hang out with them. Like, one of my fun little things I like to do is she touches stuff. She's got to feel stuff. Like, I like to go grocery shopping with her just to see her shop, because she's always touching and feeling stuff, and like, no, that's not good enough. And it cracks me up. Or we'll go to the mall, and if there's something that's furry, she's got to touch it. And I'll just be sitting there cracking up at her shopping. And as someone who doesn't really shop, because I eat out most of the time, I've literally, first time I went to the grocery store, I don't even know how many years. It was with her, and we were shopping and buying stuff. And literally, all right, I like the way she walks. She has a very sexy walk. I like hanging out with her, being in her space. And she actually told me something, and this is why I'm saying it's very reciprocal. It's not just me. She was like, I was thinking about moving in with you. And I was like, really? Tell me more about that. Because I thought the same thing, but I didn't express that. I was like, because we met, and like I said, now the relationship has gotten a little longer. 24th, 90 days, 94. So we're almost at 100 days. We're on the 98th day that we've been together. So 2 more days will be 100 days, and things are starting to break open, and we're seeing more, and things are getting better and better and better. And one of the things that, like, going back to high school, I remember liking people, and because you're in high school, you don't really say anything. You just like, I like you, and you over there. And I remember what would have been kind of my first girlfriend didn't happen. I grew up in Adamsville, Alabama, and I went to Bottenfield High School, and there was this girl named Rebecca Gross. And one day, she gently held my hand, and we walked down the hall. Interracial couples were not a thing back then, not like it is now. And if someone was going to be the first girlfriend, it would have been her. Super smart, super kind, very, very pretty, very, very feminine, very, very attractive. But that never happened. And one of the things that happened with me, and I didn't realize it until I can like look back, is when I joined the military. I graduated high school June 5th. I was at the MEP station and getting ready to go up to Fort Dix, New Jersey. And when I left high school, I was about 215 pounds, right? And I was shorter. I was about 5'9". So I was, now I am 6'1". So I grew quite a bit since high school. And then I go to the military and I go to basic training, and we're running, we're marching and stuff. I had no clue to how much weight I lost. Plus we had weights in our barracks. So we would be marching, drilling, doing stuff all day. And at night I would lift weights. So when I went home, I did not realize I must have lost 35 pounds, mostly fat, because, Fort Dix in the middle of the summer, sweating every day. People didn't recognize me. And I didn't understand that I had gotten into my optimum build, because when I got in the military, I went to Fort Sam Houston. Girls would come up and start talking to me. That wasn't my normal. It's like girls like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Sally and I'm from Oklahoma." Like literally just come up and start telling me their old stories and stuff. And I didn't realize that at the time I was select. I did not know that. I did not know what that meant. I just knew the girls would come up and start talking, and they have them all the time. Then there was this girl who went to the West End. Her name was Christy. And I was a virgin when I graduated high school. Little did I know that Christy would have been my first sexual experience if I knew how to ask her, but I didn't know how to ask her. So then we move on to Sharon, who actually becomes my official first girlfriend, hand holding, kissing, hugging, and sex. And I go back in that moment of time because my current relationship takes me back to those moments when things were just innocent, kind, sweet, nice, very, very attractive. It just takes me back to that period of time when my life was pretty simple. And I ask her a lot of crazy questions because, sometimes I get in my little moments and I'll text her some questions and stuff. And some of the answers I get just blow my mind because she's Haitian and I did not know what it was like to be dating. I've dated white women, Indian women, Japanese, Vietnamese, Philippines, and Thai. Yes, I had to separate the Asian races because they're all very, very different. But this is the first time, the second time, I dated a girl who was from Cameroon, who moved to France and immigrated to France and became an attorney. And she was here in Atlanta on some type of conference thing. And we got together. And that, it was funny because the women in France are very slim. They're tiny. And, this chick, she was about 5'3" and maybe weighed 125. And she was talking about, she was getting fat. And I was like, but you're skinny. You're skinny. What are you talking about? And, it was funny because she was really tiny. She's very sexy, very sexy. And she told me a story. She's like, the first time I had shoes, she said she was like 12 years old, the first time she had a pair of shoes, which just kind of blew my mind because as Americans, we don't realize how poor the rest of the world is. But that was my first Black immigrant experience, and it was very, very nice. And then I meet Tressy. And key thing is we met on the dating profile. Now this is the thing, I wasn't getting a lot of matches because I did not have my picture up. I wanted to actually build something with somebody, so I didn't have my picture up, and I knew that would work against me. But she actually responded, and we started talking, and I sent her a picture, and I was like, "Do you like the merchandise?" And that's been her nickname. She calls me Mr. Merchandise all of the time. And that's how we met. So she took a chance on me not knowing what I look like, and it's turned out very nicely. So this is the first video on the new channel, and we'll be talking about positive things, happy things. I'll probably do a video on the offers and some other wonderful stuff that's happening here on the internet. So be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I will see you guys in the next one.